Okay. Hope my screen is visible, right, Jay? Just confirm
Yes.
1 second. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Jay. Thanks for the opening comments. Thanks, participants, and good morning, good afternoon, based on the geographic location you are into. For the better reception, once the introduction part is over, I will switch off my camera. Nice to see you in this call. So this is our first session on the Oracle Database 23c new feature enablement series for especially for the APAC region. And I'm thrilled to see you all of you in this session. So before even get into the complete agenda, let me introduce myself first. My name is Mahesh Guru. I'm a principal product manager, part of Oracle Database Product Management team. So it is a platform technologies solution group in Oracle. So we are aligned with the headquarters product management team. And with me, I have joined by Satyabrata Mishra, two of my colleagues, Satyabrata Mishra and the Rajiv Rumale, who will help us to answer the questions that you will raise during this session. Feel free to ask your any questions that you have in the Q&A box and not in the chat box. So yeah, so let's get started. So SQL, we are going to cover the SQL enhancement in the Oracle Database 23c. So this is a kind of exciting features that we are bringing into the Oracle Database 23c. So the first, let me show you the safe harbor statement. This particular representation, the seminar is for the information purpose and not for the any commercial contractual purpose. So you take this as an information representation. So in the agenda, let me go through the agenda. We are going to talk about the new features, the new enhancement which is there in the Oracle Database 23c. I will give you the introduction on Oracle Database 23c later after this slide on the agenda. But these are the new features which are introduced in the SQL we are going to talk about. So mainly, nowadays you can create a 4,000 columns in a table, aggregation over internal types, and so on. So this slide is very important for everyone. You should bookmark the Moss note which is there in the bottom line, which really talks about the release and support timeline of Oracle releases, Oracle database releases. Okay, so I believe everyone knows about the innovation release of Oracle database and the long-term support release of Oracle. So 19C and the 18C, 20. I mean the 18C was the innovation release. 19C is the long-term supported release. Basically, gives you the support till mid of 2027 with the extended support. The innovation release is something which recommended not to use in production kind of workload because these are the innovation release has only 3 years support, and you should not use this in the production release, a production support. The next long-term supported release is 23c, and that is what we are going to talk about, this 23c Oracle database release and the new features which we have introduced in this release. So Oracle Database 23c release, since it is a long-term supported release, the support is available till 2031 with the extended support, right? So this is very important slide. We should know about the support timeline. So the
Mahesh,
23c
sorry to
has
in
been, yeah.
Mahesh, sorry to interrupt you.
Mhm.
Do you want to start the survey before we do the main presentation?
Correct. Yeah. You can pop up the survey. Okay.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, participate in the survey because we want to know something from your side as well. What is your role in your organization? What is your current platform or the Oracle database release that you are going to use? This information is very important for us to get in touch with you to understand more about yourself, so that please participate in the poll.
Okay, Mike, please give your answer in 3 minutes.
Mhm. Kundan,
Giving
you can
us your
ask your
answer.
question.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, Kundan, you can ask your question in Q&A chat, Q&A box.
Okay, let me close the survey. I will give you the result right after finish session, Mahesh.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
You can stop the sharing, Jay, for the poll. All right. So let me talk about something on the 23C. So 23C SQL enhancement is basically in the 23C. We have introduced 300 more feature, 300 plus more features into the database itself. So this is the combination of 21C innovation release plus the 23C their own features. So the long-term supported release will be always the combination of earlier innovation release. So in this case, the features which are there in the 21C, the innovation release has been carried out or incorporated into the 23C long-term supported release. So in a way, 300 plus new features are there in the 23C, and we can see some of the new features. So in this particular series, we have total 6 sessions. Please subscribe to all the 6 sessions because all the features are very important for you to your environment. So let me talk about why Oracle database is so important, and why developers are now looking at the Oracle database as a database platform from the development point of view. Okay. because the Oracle database platform is no more is just for the relational database, wherein you can store your data in a row and column format and retrieve the data the way you want. Okay, this is not no more the relational kind of database. Now we can accommodate multiple data types into the single. So many people are raising hands. Is there any trouble? Is there any comments on the Q&A chat, Jay? We can see.
I don't have a
Correct.
question, but yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. So developers like Oracle Database Platform as a platform just because maybe can accommodate multiple data types into the single database platform, so that there would be a less effort for developers to build their innovative application, right? The second reason is we support ISO standard SQL and standard API architecture to interact with the database. The most important point to be noted here is nowadays the application express or the Apex is the low code platform which is available on the OCI. So the developer can start their building application right away. So without having any kind of infrastructure to be provisioned by their infrastructure team, they can go and they can start building their enterprise application or the small application, which is low code kind of application platform available on OCI. Okay. And on top of that, there are many analytics functionality or the capabilities are available in the single database platform. Okay. So this is the reason why developers are now getting inclined towards the Oracle database platform just to build their application. So the Oracle Database 23c, which is now available for the production use on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure on the base database service. So you can easily spin up your Oracle Database 23c database instance on OCI, on the base database. We are coming up with the same database or the 23c database available in Exadata Cloud at Customer, and as well as on the on-premise. But before that, you can go and download the Oracle Database 23c, which is free release available on the Oracle technology site, OTN site. Here is the link, or you can I can give you the link right after the end of this session. But you can download the free release of Oracle Database 23c. Yes, of course, there are certain resource limitation on the free release, but you will get all the features available in the 23c there itself. So you can start using those features, download the Oracle binary from the OTN site, and you can start using those Oracle 23c features. So this is the portfolio of Oracle Database 23c in a nutshell. So it has many innovative features included in it, like SQL domain, JSON relational duality. We are coming with the AR vector search and the true cache, which is a very important feature wherein your application performance can be increased dramatically with the true cache. We have something called SQL firewall. So that would be an additional layer for your database security. So all of those features are going to talk in our further sixth session. So that is the reason I'm insisting you to go and subscribe for all the six session. So in this particular session, we are going to talk only on the SQL enhancement or the SQL features, which is there in the SQL developer kind of thing. So begin with, let me start the first feature, the 4096 columns in a table. So now we can create a table which is really with the 4096 column. Now you will ask, why do I need this so many columns in a table? So the 23c database has a many AI and machine learning feature inbuilt into that. Tomorrow, if you want to build an application which is compatible with the AI, or which is capable of handling AI and the machine learning features, you would need more columns into the table. And that is the reason that you can store the data into the multiple columns. So up until you can create a table with the 1000 columns. But there is a one change, like you should require, it is required the compatible parameters as a 23c greater than 23c.0.0. And also you need to set the database parameter called max column as an extended. So by default, this particular column is having standard value. I mean, the max column is equal to standard. You have to make it as a extended. So in this entire presentation, I will show you some of the in the some of the slides. I'm going to show you the demo as well. So I will show you the demo for how to create this 4096 the table with the 4096 column. Yeah, so let me start the demo. So in this, first let me see my max column as a parameter. So by default, it is a standard. Then I'm going to create a column with the 1000 column because it is a standard. I can create a table with the 1000 column. I'm taking help of this particular small PLSQL block so that I can create a table with the 1000 column in a single statement. So it is allowing me to create a table with the 1000 column. Let's go ahead. And the moment, if I let me describe the table. Yeah, it is getting created, or it has got created with the 1000 column. The moment I change the script and I put it as a 1001 column, see this, a 1001 column, it will throw an error like maximum number of column in a table or view is 1000. So beyond 1000, you cannot create a table. You have to set the max column parameter. Let's see that. Okay. So once again, I'm seeing the max column parameter. It is still as a standard. Now you have to set this particular column with this command. So set max column equal to extended and scope equal to SP file. Please be aware that you need to shut down the pluggable database immediately after the setting of this column to make the effect of this particular parameter setting. Otherwise, it will not take the effect of that particular column. You have to shut down your pluggable database. So ensure that you are not connected, or any of your session is not connected to the database, but because you have to shut down the database, you have to shut down the pluggable database. Once the database is shut down, immediately I need to start up the database with the startup command as usual. Startup. Once the database is open, again, I will go and I will create a table um, with the 4096 column. See, now the procedure is successfully completed. I can describe the table. Now the table is having the 4096 column. So keep that in mind. You have to set this parameter, and once it is set, you have to shut down your pluggable database, and you are good to go with that. Okay? The second feature is interval data types. Now, the interval data types has been introduced somewhere in the Oracle Database 9.9. But what is the enhancement that we have brought into the 23c is nowadays you can do any aggregate function. You can run any aggregate function on the interval data type. So what is this interval data types is basically? So it is nothing but the difference between your timestamp column, right, or the date column. So if you want to store this particular data into the separate column, there is a data type called interval. With the interval, now you can perform any aggregate function. You can perform any aggregate function on the interval data type. So in this case, I'm retrieving the job list from the DBA scheduler underscore job underscore run underscore details, which are the CPU which are greater than 2 seconds. So this is the simple command. I will show you in the demo itself. Yeah. So please see this particular SQL statement. Now I'm using the sum as aggregate function on CPU use. So CPU use is the interval data type, and I'm using the group by function as a job name. And also additionally I'm doing the having sum of CPU use as an additional condition where interval is 2 seconds. Now the next the next feature is Boolean data type. Now with the Boolean data type, you can create a table with and create a column with your Boolean data type, right? So the Boolean is storing the value true, false, or 1, 0, or something like that. So all these Boolean, so this particular table is supported with the fully supported with the existing JSON Boolean data types, as well as it supports the all the column capabilities like constraint, indexes, partitioning, and virtual column. So you can create this table with the Boolean data type using either Boolean or the bool. So the number from the number 0 means false and true otherwise. So if you can see this right hand side the table, the true and false. So what are the true values and what are the false values? We can give even on and off. We can give the numeric columns as a 1 or 0. 1 is true and 0 means a false. So these values can be now defined as a Boolean data type. Also, yeah. So this is the data type you can create. So at the time of creating the table, uh, you can uh, you can define column type as a Boolean or otherwise bool. Yeah. So here in this case, I'm creating a table called email with the two column. One is address and one is active. So active is my Boolean data type. I'm inserting the row into the Boolean into the table, and then I'm retrieving the data from the that particular table. So whenever I'm retrieving the data from the table, I will have to just write a select address from email where active. There is no the operator is you can you no need to use the operator there. So when I'm saying where active, that means it is treated as a true value, right? So I'm getting the true the rows, both the rows with the true value. Next feature is update via join. So if you want to update the table, update the data in a table in the driving table based on the data which is available in the secondary table, what you will do is we will join this both the table uh, using inline query, right? In this case, I'm updating the salary into the from the employee table with salary into 2 from employee table, and I'm using this inline query like e.department in, and I'm using the department table in the inline queries where development where the d.name equal to development. From the development department, I want to increase the salary from the salary into 2. So nowadays, you can, with the 23c, you can update the employee table with joining to both the table. No need to use the inline queries in this case. So it is faster than the inline queries, right? Because in the inline queries, you can see you have to scan all the rows into the secondary from the secondary table. So in this case, you can join both the tables on the common column name, and they can and then you can update the any value from the any table. Yeah. The similar functionality is available in the delete functionality. So you can delete the rows from the table by joining both the tables. Now, if not exist, this is also the new feature which has been introduced in 23c. Now, if you are creating any table, and if that particular table or if that particular object is available in the database, you will end up in getting the error, right? That particular table or object is already available. If you want to get rid of that particular error, you can add this if not exist or if exist, right? This is the syntax. Now I'm creating a table with test 1 to 3 ID, some column name and the column type, data type. If that particular table is already exists, you will get an error like name is already used by another existing table. If you want to bypass this error, I don't want to get this particular error, I can use if not exist. Create table if not exist, table name and the column name, right? So the table is created. I will not get the error. If it is exist, then it will not create the table again. But if it is not exist, then it will create a table. Yeah. Similar functionality is there in the drop table. If the table is not, if the table is already table, or if table is not exist, then you will not be able to drop the table. But if I want to bypass this error, I can use this if exist. If table is exist, then delete it. So this particular error, you can use it in your PLSQL block. So generally, you see PLSQL blocks is terminated because of the Oracle error. So you can use this kind of functionality in your PLSQL block. Next feature is group by column alias. So whenever you're using any aggregate function in a select clause, you have to include the group by clause at the end, right? So group by and the column name. So in this case, now you can use the alias of that particular column in a group by clause, or you can either use the position of that particular column in a group by clause. We'll see that how it is used. So in this example, a group by column alias position, I'm extracting the year from the hire date. So let's see from the employee table, I have employee table, I have a hire date, but I want to extract, I don't want to give this hire date, but I want to extract the year from the employee table from the hire date, and I'm counting the rows, right? From the table. So in this case, if this particular function, the extract function is used here in this case, we have to give the group by, the exact function in the group by column. So this was the earlier development before 23c. And then in having clause also, you have to give the exact same functional function in the user. So it is very difficult if you are using in a select statement, if you are using lengthy function. So that is irritating, by the way. So nowadays you can give the column alias, like here in this case, hire year. So hire year is my column alias for this particular column in the select statement, and I can give this column alias in the group by clause. So group by hire year, and in the having clause also I can give the hire year. So this is the very convenient to use, right? Also, you can give the column position. So in this case, the column position is first, right? In one, I can give this a column position, and I can say group by one. So essentially, it will do the grouping in the first column, on the first column, okay? And then having higher year 2015. But for that particular the new feature, you have to set this particular parameter group by position enabled equal to true. Without this, it will not work. So I will show you the demo. I have employee table. I'm selecting the rows from the employee table. I am using some aggregate function like sum on the salary from the employee table. Now I will use the column LIs for column alias for the salary column. I will stop the answer. So here in this case, the column alias is EMP, and for salary it is a sal. So I'm grouping on the column alias, and I'm also using the column alias of salary in having clause. So that is good. Let me show you. Now, without changing that column position parameter, if I use this group by function as a column position, in this case, select employee number. I'm giving the EMP as a alias. For salary, I'm giving sal as a alias, and I'm saying that group by one, because I want to group I want to group my EMP NO column in a group by function. But since that parameters is not set, I will end up in this particular error. So EMP number must appear in the group by clause. Now I will do the alteration command. With the alteration, I can change the parameter. You can do that with the alteration as well for making that parameter permanent. So here in this case, by default, the value is false. Okay? You have to make it make it true by enabling the alteration command, by doing the alteration command. So now I will use the same query by grouping the column alias function. Now in this case that query is executed successfully. See this? So these are the main functionality that you have to keep in mind. The next new feature is table value constructor. So this table value constructor nowadays can be used in three different ways, like in insert, in select, with clause, and merge clause. So what is this table constructor is all about? Let's understand this table constructor. So you can insert the values in the table in a bulk format. So in earlier days, you have to give each and every select or the insert statement separately, right? Insert into booking values first row, and then again insert into booking the values second row. But now you can insert bulk rows or the multiple rows in a single statement like this. You have to just separate this multiple values by using comma, and you can insert multiple rows in a single table. Now this is for the insert. Now for the select, you can create a value constructor on the fly. So whenever you are using any PLSQL block or any stored procedure, on the fly, virtually you can create a value constructor without having any table values. Right? Here in this case, I'm not referring to any table, but I'm creating this particular constructor or object through this particular command. And this object, and then this particular object, then I can use it anywhere in my PLSQL block code. Right? So this is with the select. Similar way, I can do this with clause. So with X, I'm again creating this constructor on the fly, and I'm selecting the value from the constructor. You can see this particular constructor execution plan. It will show you the value scan as an operation. And in the value scan, you can see there are a number of tuples. Tuples is nothing but the rows, three rows, and the three elements. Three elements are the three columns. And what are the values for all the constructors? So you can easily see in the execution plan itself. Let me show you the demo of the SQL constructor here. So I'm dropping the table first given. I'm creating a table with the some of the columns, also having some of the constraint. Table is created with the empty value. Now I will insert the multiple rows in a table with a single statement. See this? Insert into T1 and multiple values in a single statement. So 3 rows are created. Then I'm going to create a construct. Yeah, I'm selecting the rows from the T1. I can see the multiple rows are created in a single statement, SQL statement. I'm going to create a construct from the random SQL. So in this case, I'm select star from values and some of the rows I'm selecting. So I'm not referring any table here. See this? And then I can fetch the extract the row from the construct. Okay? Then the similar functionality I can use with the with clause. So with A, I'm building this particular construct and selecting the rows from that particular construct. Okay. In another example, I can use the merge functionality. So merge into T1 in the table here, and then using values something from the virtual construct, and I'm using the match function. When match, then it will update the rows, and if it is not matched, then it will insert the rows additionally. So in this case, the 3 rows are merged, and so on. Right. Next feature is returning clause. So the returning clause is this particular returning clause is basically used to store the old values as well as new values. So when it will store the new old values and new values when you are updating the any table values, right? So in this case, I'm updating the employee table, and I want to see what was the old value when I'm updating the salary. What was the old value and what is the new value for the salary? So I can really return this old value with the clause of returning. Okay? You can easily use this returning clause, and you can store those value into the any kind of variable. So in this case, I'm storing the old salary into old salary. This is my variable, and new salary into new salary. So this particular piece of code, you can use it in PLSQL, small PLSQL code. This can be used in merge into a statement as well. So essentially, it is returning the old value and new value. Let me show you the demo of it. So in this demo, I'm just creating one sample PLSQL code here, wherein in the declaration session, a declaration section, I'm defining some variables here. So this variable is from the employee table type, and the old salary, new salary, and the employee number. I'm updating the employee table with the salary plus salary equal to salary plus 100, where EMP NO equal to 4. And here I'm using the returning clause. So returning old EMP NO and old salary, new salary into some variables. So some of the variables I have declared in the declaration section, right? So I'm returning those value for to the variables, and from the DBMS output, I can display those values. So in this case, it is getting displayed the employee number as 4. Old salary was 410, and I'm updating that salary plus 100. So the new salary is 410. So this functionality, you can use it in your in your PLSQL block in this stored procedure. Very easy to use. Now the next feature is select without from. So if you are working on non-Oracle database platform, there you can see this kind of statement on the database. So if you want to retrieve the current sysdate, you have to just give the select statement and the sysdate. So in Oracle earlier is to be a select state from dual, right? Not that dual, the dual expression, in the select expression, no longer you need to give this dual from dual clause. So you can just select state, it will return a current state with the timestamp. Likewise, if you want to do some arithmetic function here, select 2 into 2, it will give you the desired value. And also you can call your any function, like select my function. So my function is my function. You can call that function using only just select statement. No need to give from dual clause. This is the PLSQL aggregate type and JSON interoperability functionality. This is available in 23c. So in this case, please read this PLSQL block very carefully. So here I'm defining a type. The rec is my type. Oracle, in the Oracle database, you can define object type as a type. And in this type, I'm creating the type with the two column. One is ID with the number and the name as a character two. So in this type, I'm inserting some values from this particular statement. So in this case, with the number, I'm selecting one, and the name is something I'm given, Oracle Database 23c. I'm also defining in the declaration section, I'm defining my JSON as my JSON variable as a JSON type, right? Because I want to retrieve the whatever the data it is there in the type, I want to push it to the JSON data type. So in this case, in the begin section, my JSON is equal to JSON. I'm using JSON function and the myRec. myRec is the record type, right? If I do this dbms output.put line JSON serialize my JSON, I can get the same exact data into the JSON format. So this is the statement that, or this is the output that you can get it from the JSON, just in a JSON format. Similar way, you can do, you can write a function. You don't need to insert the rows into this. So this is exactly the opposite of the earlier example. So in this case, I'm pushing the JSON data into the myRec or the record type of Oracle, and then I'm returning the value from the myRec. So this is the type I'm declaring. So the record, the type is ID number, same type I'm creating here in the declaration section. And I'm pushing this particular JSON data. This is my JSON data or JSON collection data to the record type. So vice versa. I mean, you can store the JSON data into the Oracle object, and also you can push the data from the Oracle object to the JSON format. So both the way can use it. This is a very important feature. So those who are working on the application or the database performance side, now they can, with the execution plan, you can see the extended or the you can say the additional SQL analysis report. You can see at the bottom of the execution plan. So this, in this particular query, wherein I'm selecting the rows and from the different, from the different tables with the union clause. So in the execution clause or the execution plan, I can see there is a table access, the table access full, okay, and the merge Cartesian product. So in the further section, if I need to analyze the execution plan of this particular query, I can see the SQL analysis report down on the down at the bottom of the execution plan. Here in this case, it is saying that the following columns have predicates which preclude their use as a key in the index range scan, because it is getting filtered into, or it is converting this particular product category into two number. So character to number conversion is happening here, and that is why it is not getting into the range scan, index range scan, and that is what it is going into the full table scan. So they are asking to consider rewriting the predicates product category. You need to see whether this product category is numeric or character, and the product subcategory as well. So additional recommendation it is giving, you can get it on the SQL analysis report. And in the second, this term, merge join Cartesian product. So there is a Cartesian product which essentially get whenever there is no join between two tables, the scanning is happening on from the driving table as well as from the table which is supposed to be joined. In this case, there is a Cartesian product. So in this case, the query block has one Cartesian product, which may be expensive. Consider adding join condition. So either you have to add more join condition with this for this particular SQL statement, a piece of code, or remove the disconnected tables or views. So this is the very important section. Those who are working on the performance tuning of their databases or the application queries. Then with the error messages, there is a much better error messages we can get. So in this case, if you say if that group by function is not included, uh, so not a group by expression, but I am not able to understand which group by function I need to give in this case. So in this case, state group by function is missing. This particular select statement, I have to give the country as well as state. So with the extended format of error messages, I can get the detailed error message in this case. So in this case, it is asking must appear in the group by state sales. The schema name and the column name has to be there in the group by clause. So this is much better error messages we can get. Similar with the invalid number, if you are giving numeric value to the characters, you will get this kind of error, just invalid number. And then you will go search for these particular error messages in the Google or on the Oracle documentation and find out what is the reason for this. But with this extended or the very detailed information, you can easily identify what is the error for this particular issues. Unable to convert value ABC to number. Then the similar error messages for the table or views or the objects are not exist, and you are performing any operation which is on the objects which does not exist on the in the database. So in this case, a table or views, which table is not exist. So it will give you the schema name as well as the table name or the object name. Similar better error messages with respect to SQL plus command. Whenever there is an issue with the listener, it is very hard to find out the exact reason for why you are not getting connected to the database. So here you can see the much detailed error message cannot connect to the database service, not a valid DB name. So here in this case, I'm referring the not a valid DB name as a service which is not registered with the listener. And it will give you the IP address and the port name as well. Okay, so that's it from my side. You can see some of the links on the last slide. This is my last slide. You can bookmark this particular site on your browser if you want to understand or learn more new features of the Oracle Database 23c. And you can click this particular link to download the free release of Oracle Database 23c. Thanks. Let me stop my sharing and we'll go to the.
Please check
Yeah.
Q&A box. There's a couple of questions in there.
Yeah. So is toChar is become exact? No, extract? No. No, I don't know what column extension. Yeah. What is the question on the column extension, Kundan? Okay, Gansham is asking about the JSON type. Data type is very promising and will impact a lot to compute another day during these lessons. I believe it is wonderful feature narrow down lessons effective. Yeah, thanks, Gansham. No. See, by increasing the number of columns in a row will not increase the load on database until and unless you are retrieving those columns, right? And yes, this is not going to be impact on overall the performance of your database. That's for sure, Kundan.
So there is one question from Hemendra regarding the two-character function. Is it becoming extra now? This was related to the starting slides. When you go to those slides, I think this is not extra now. The two-char function remains valid and useful wherever it is needed. It's only in the use case that was mentioned by Maheshwar that is where it becomes extra. But otherwise, in PL SQL, you do need to do typecasting and conversion of types, right? So it is still required.
Yeah, I think it is related to the interval data types.
Yes.
Yeah, you can use two-char still. You can retrieve the data from the timestamp or the date column type, like two-char year. If you want to retrieve year, months, hours, and seconds, you can do that as well. But you cannot perform any aggregate function on that. So you'll get an 00932 error. For that, it is very easy to get the interval as a data type, and you can perform any aggregate function in that interval data type. It's much more easy and effective to store the difference between the two timestamp and or date columns. Okay. For 4096 column, if someone runs command select star from table, and this does impact DB performance.
Yeah, this is the same question was asked earlier. So it does not depend on the columns. It is like how frequently you are going to retrieve that, right? So what is the workload on the database, not the data size, right? So that depends on that.
Yeah.
So 4096 columns, this feature is included. No, it is generally very rare use cases. You will see so many, even 1000-column limit. No, probably I doubt if you have used 1000 columns in any of your tables. But 4096 columns, these are more required when you are trying to do this JSON reality or JSON data types to be put into this, into a table kind of thing. That time it is needed. So that is the reason why this was extended for this. So those scenarios, it is widely used. And it is again, wherever the JSON or document type data is coming, right? So when you convert it into a table, it ends up with large number of columns. And then the load depends on how frequently you are retrieving and how many rows you're retrieving, right?
Exactly.
There is a question from Jinesh. He has raised his hand. Would you like to unmute him? Can we unmute him?
Janish Karam.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi,
Yeah,
Jinesh,
Janish,
please.
we can hear you.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
can hear you,
we can
Janish. You
hear
can
you.
go ahead and ask your question.
So, is it just the similar to max string size extended? So once it's extended, we cannot go back to standard. I have
Uh,
not increased the number of columns more than 1000, so I can revert
mhm.
it back to standard, or it's once it's done permanently.
No, yeah, you can go back to the standard, provided if you are not created the column, if you are not created the table with the 4096 column, it will not
Okay.
allow you to go back to the standard.
It
But
won't allow,
still,
na?
yeah, it won't allow. It
I-
won't allow if the table is there in the 4096 column. You
Okay.
can drop the table of 4096 and you go back to, you can easily go back to the standard there.
Okay. Because
Hmm.
the similar feature for max string size, once it goes from standard to extended, we
Hmm.
cannot go back.
Right, right, right.
That's why this is it
Hmm.
similar or not? That's what.
Yeah. No, in this case, you can go back, but provided you should not have the table created with the 4096 column. The
Okay.
table with the 4096 column. Yeah. But again, you have to shut down the database. Huh? I mean, if you
Yeah, yeah.
uh, change that to
SP file,
standard,
yeah,
yeah,
SP file you need to.
yeah.
Yeah, Omkar, you can
Yeah,
ask your
hello. Yeah.
question.
Thank you for wonderful session and wonderful features has been introduced in the database.
Hmm.
So I have using the Oracle since 23 years. I know the how difficult this error has been resolved now. It's become too
Hmm.
easy now. Yeah. So my
Yeah,
question was this the Boolean data type which has been you shown in the where clause where just want to see that active email ID, just put the
correct.
the column name and the whatever has been active, the true is will display in the list, right? And the
Correct.
statement. So what about the false? How will you get the false one?
Yeah, I think it is not active or not.
Yeah,
You
where
can
the
use the
email.
not operator. Yeah,
Okay, we have to put not
correct.
in that. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. That is a good question. What is your name?
Omkar.
Omkar. Yeah, that is a good question, Omkar.
So thank you so much.
Yeah, you can use not.
Okay, there's no more question. Let me highlight a couple of things. Someone asked questions how to get recording video. We are going to provide replay link to everyone to attend today. So yeah, you can see replay, or someone missed some part, then you can check again. And as Miles mentioned in the first slide, 23, Oracle 23 is long-term service edition. So please remember about that. And 23 is free for developer. Please remember for that as well. And please attend next week's session as well. 2nd November, we are going to do series number 2 about JSON development next week. Please attend next week's section as well. Mahesh, do you have any comment? Please give us close-mating comment.
Yeah, so yeah, so participants, we are from the product management team, and we also works very well or very closely with our APAC partners, and we are helping our APAC partners or the partners to onboard their application on 23c, to test their application on 23c as well as the autonomous database. So if you have any need, or if you need any help from our side, you can reach out to any of us, uh, myself, Satya, Raju, or Jay. We can plan that accordingly. We can help you to upgrade or migrate your application workload to OCI, any database platform.
Okay, thank you so much. See you everyone next week.
Hey,
Bye.
Shane, you want to share the result of the poll?
Oh, I will gonna send you to all of you.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Thanks,
you, Rajiv.
everyone.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.